So we're checking back in again on our 1960 Impala. So far we got all our accessories mounted. So we're using an ICT air conditioner bracket for the AC compressor. We're using the factory Camaro alternator bracket with the factory Camaro power steering bracket. We made up a power steering hose that connects down here to our power steering assist ram, because the car has power steering, but it doesn't run through the gearbox. It runs through a hydraulic assist ram. So we have that. So we have our supply and our return lines. We made up this little bracket right here, so the hose won't get in contact with the pulley, but this is just extra insurance for it right there. So now, as we finish up on our closing details on our LS swap, you always run into like little issues. So you can see here, our drive shaft gets really close to our parking brake cable, and it actually hits. The reason why it's not hitting now is because this cable isn't adjusted correctly and the wheels are off the ground, so we can fix it. So we've tried inverting this the other way. We're sticking it in from the bottom, and what happens is it still hits up against there. So what we're gonna have to do is take this apart, grind these welds on both sides, and then bring this down about 1 inch. And then that will get us to clear the yoke of our transmission. So these little details like this, what you always encounter doing an LS swap. And if you take care of the small details, I believe the project overall will be a great success. So let's get this done. So we got that park brake bracket moved down, and we got clearance on our drive shaft now, so that's all good. We got that back installed and everything adjusted, so we'll keep moving forward. On radiators back in. We started working on our steering column. We're missing like one component to connect our new steering column to our old steering rod, so we're waiting on that. We're also waiting on some radiator hoses, so we can get the radiator hoses complete, and we are also waiting on some fittings and some hose for our vintage air lines, because we're gonna have to remake those so they bolt up to our compressor. So you can see that is where we're at. So once we get all the hoses done, then we will tackle our wiring, because I kind of like to make sure everything is in place before we get started doing the wiring. So we got our transmission dipstick down there in the transmission, drive shafts in. So we're gonna keep rolling here.